Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on to this. I actually got this. I got this the day after the last Grim Gazette. And it bothered me because I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to have had this on the Grim Gazette. So we're going to take a look at this. Best UFO. Now this dropped. Okay, and this is what I want to point out. This dropped on February 19th, 2024. So only last week. Best UFO footage ever captured with video authenticity confirmed. Colombian pilot captures video of an unidentified object at 12,500 feet. Video's authenticity was confirmed by Mexican ufologist Jamie Maussan. The pilot claims the object started moving towards his aircraft. Okay, we're going to look at it. I'll play it after I read the article. A video of an unidentified flying object, UFO, or for the more hip crowd, a UAP or Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, has gone viral on social media. I'll address that in a second, with many calling it the best UFO footage ever. Pilot Jorge A. Arteaga captured the footage while flying over Antioquia, Colombia. In the video, the unidentified object, which resembles a balloon, can be seen very clearly. However, it's unlike any other UFO footage we have seen in the past. According to Arteaga, the UFO is not a balloon of any type, a drone, or any known object to him. The airplane was too high and the temperature was too cold for a balloon to float freely. Arteaga and his I can't tell if it's Arteaga or Arteaga. Let's say it's Arteaga. Arteaga and his co-pilot Daniel were on their way to Medellin and Santa Fe when they noticed the strange object moving in their direction. At that point, Arteaga started filming and began to follow the UFO with the aircraft. Arteaga expressed fear when the object started moving towards them. The aircraft was flying at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour, 186 miles, with temperature falling to 5 degrees Celsius. According to Arteaga, if the object had been a balloon, the aircraft's airflow or turbulence caused by its movements would have blown it away or disrupted the balloon. He also ruled out the possibility of it being a solar or helium balloon, as the sighting occurred at 12,500 feet. Reports state that Arteaga confirmed the video's authenticity while speaking with Mexican ufologist Jamie Maussan. In the past few years, we have seen an increasing amount of UFO sightings. Some sightings have rational explanations, while some remained unidentified. The term UFO is often correlated to alien sightings, but it simply stands for Unidentified Flying Object. These sights can often be drones, weather balloons, or birds. So it's quite uncertain what the strange object in video might have been. If you're interested in these kind of mysteries, we have got you covered. Take a look at the audio footage captured in one of the recent sightings. So let's have a look at this video. That's what happened here. So here we go. So we have the guys playing. He sees the thing in front of him. Now watch this. There it is. I'm going to play that again. Are we gonna get another ad? These are Instagram ads, by the way, so I can't be held accountable for Instagram ads. So he's following it, and it's around here. It's in this part right here. Then it turns around. Doesn't make any sound. And that's what it looks like up close and personal. It doesn't look like a balloon. Yeah, I know. There really is no audio. There really is no audio to worry about over me. It's just the guy's plane. But so we're looking at this video critically. And here are the couple things I would note. One, it's obviously not a balloon because it doesn't look like a balloon. Secondly, it turned around and it came towards them. Didn't make a sound as it went by. It should have made a sound when it went by. At least I think it should have. That something would have been picked up, I assume, by the sound of the plane. We're gonna make the bold assumption that this guy's buddy was flying the plane while he was filming it. It almost is convincing. But here's the problem with me saying, here's the problem with them saying it's going viral. This is, all right, first off, I gotta name the source of this story. The name of this website is Supercar Blondie. I have no idea. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this crypto bro right here. Coolest cars, Quali USA, and they're showing these ridiculous style cars. But I can't quite figure out what this. I can't quite figure out what this blog is all about. It is not a legit news site, because it has that kind of, it's got that startup bro, crypto bro kind of stank about it. It's got these extreme cars that if you're driving these to the local Harris Teeter, yeah, they're going to get busted, that kind of thing. So I'm already kind of questioning the validity of them saying it went viral. And here's why I'm having a tough time with it saying it went viral. Because this exact same story showed up in the Hindustan Times. And I'm sorry, if you are getting your news from the Hindustan Times, you might want to pump the brakes and take a breath for yourself, because this is not a real paper. And if it is a real paper, I refuse to believe that it's a real. It's about as real as the National Enquirer. This is just one of those places where I have seen some of the most ridiculous stories that should be earth-shattering stories, but only the Hindustan Times is reporting them. So yeah, it's one of those kind of news sources. But here's the bigger problem. This is the exact same story, exact same people involved, right? And it said that it went viral on social media, and they're saying it's April 22nd, 2023. If you're still going viral after in about a year's time, that's pretty significant. This is the first time I'd heard of this. And but it's more or less the same story recycled. Now, do I think then that makes this makes this fake? It makes it incredibly sus. Because if this really was what they are claiming it is, we would have heard it. We would have heard about it back in April. We wouldn't have needed Supercar Blondie to bring us up to speed nearly a year later. I'm calling shenanigans on this. I mean, is it a UFO? Is it an unidentified flying object? Sure, of course. It's flying. It's unidentified. Do I think it's extraterrestrial? No. And as far as it being like a legit unidentified flying object, I'm not buying into it. I'm not buying into it. I don't think it's got the I don't think it's got the chops to stand up. It's not as bad as the drones flying over the gas station. This one actually made me step back and go, wow, that's impressive. But then when I wanted to see if anybody else was talking about it, only the Hindustan Times was talking about it, and they were talking about it back in April. So I'm calling shenanigans. And from there we go to the real frightening science has unveiled of something that was also that everybody was talking about last week. And this is something I'm gonna have to okay. This is something I'm going to have to pause the music for because there is sound involved with this clip. Okay, here we go. This will bring you up to speed.
OpenAI has unveiled its new text-to-video model. It's calling it Sora. It generates videos up to 1 minute long based on whatever prompt a user types into a text box. Take this, for example. If you use the prompt, the camera directly faces colorful building in Burano, Italy. An adorable Dalmatian looks through a window on a building on the ground floor. Many people are walking and cycling along the canal streets in front of the buildings. This is what you get. Wow, look at that. We're done. I think it's time to hand in your resignation, everybody. They're just going to say, give me Sarah Eyes and Mike Santoli and David Faber in digital form and, have them tout my stocks.
Nah.
No.
Garbage.
It's garbage?
They couldn't get it. They couldn't possibly get it accurate.
Oh, no. This is the first. I mean, what's this thing going to look like in 2 years, 3 years?
So who does this displace, right? It's graphic designers and video editors.
You want another one? Let's see. We got another prompt here. Step printing scene of a person running, cinematic film shot in 35 millimeter. All right.
But he's running backward on the treadmill.
I can't quite figure out what that is.
Not quite there yet.
It's shot in 35 millimeter, though. It did it. I mean,
look, the problem is we already have this problem with deep fakes. Taylor Swift is up in arms about this. And this is an election year. So for this technology to come to the fore when the U.S. and 60% of the world population is going to the polls, that is very scary. And Nick Clegg is going to join us next hour from Meta to talk about this.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to hear what they say. They talk about watermarking, but there are so many different ways around these things that it does raise the real possibility. I mean, forget deep fakes. They got to come up with another word at this point.
I don't know, though. Did that Dalmatian look truly lifelike, like it was videoed?
Yes.
Did it?
I mean, yes. Yeah. For the first iteration of this, I think it did.
Right.
So, yeah, look at the dog again. And this is where it kind of goes back to what happened with those folks with the, there are spots in the video you can tell. Well, yeah, I mean, this kind of goes, like I said, this kind of goes back to the Willie's Chocolate experience and all the pictures and the artwork on and the terrible copy that was written on this guy's House of Illuminati venture. But watch the dog, and we'll just put, the girl in Tokyo one was pretty impressive. The girl in Tokyo was very impressive. I remember seeing that one. That was the one that I saw that made me go, this is going to be problematic. But here's where you have to sort of take a step back and look at whatever it is you're consuming.
Although, did that Dalmatian look?
Watch how the dog walks.
Like it was videoed?
Yes.
Did it?
I mean, yes. Yeah. For the first iteration of this, I think it's...
The dog is walking oddly. It's just walking oddly, and its jaw looks really wide. Oh, you just found out, Crown, that you got a random sub to this channel. Welcome on in. You're watching the Grim Gazette right now. Guess I gotta watch now. Let's go.
I suggest you let that one marinate.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, if you look at the dog, when the dog is looking straight on to you, one thing that dogs and cats both share in common is that they have they have like very narrow jaws. But you look at this Dalmatian, and it looks like someone has taken a frying pan and hit it underneath its chin. But then watch how it walks.
You're calling out the Dalmatian. You can tell that that's not a real Dalmatian.
I'm sticking to my prediction.
It's just a weird cadence that this dog has. But there was another one that I saw that's even more frightening. Even way more frightening, I think. So I'm pulling this one up. Okay. So this one is this one was another one of the great examples of Sora from OpenAI. All right, first you've got Grandma. You've got Grandma and her somewhat Patrick Bateman laugh. The candles. Now the candles are that one you're gonna have to dive in deep, Cobalt. But you'll also notice at one point, not only is she laughing a bit like Patrick Bateman when she's doing Paul, But watch what happens when she blows. She blows and the candles don't move. Candles do not move. Now look at the people in the back. You've got this one woman that's doing this weird one-hand clapping thing. And then there's the woman that forgets how to clap. And the guy in the back who also forgets at one point how to clap. And he's got 3 hands. The deeper you get into the details of this video, the more the construct starts to fall apart. It is still, and this is where I get upset with something like OpenAI. I totally am into AI. I'm getting training in AI. I know that AI is not something that we can ignore. It's coming, everybody. It's coming, and it's not to be taken lightly. However, this type of technology not having ethics involved, not having a responsible oversight. Yeah, think about the deepfake issue. Think about the about how people have been like folks like Taylor Swift, Gal Gadot. People have been Scarlett Johansson. They've all been deepfaked. They've got stuff that's terrifying of political figures stepping in and doing stuff like that. Well, now we have AI video to contend with, and I'm good with the technology being developed so long as it's done ethically and responsibly. And to me, this isn't. This is pretty reckless. And right now, you could probably get away with using this stock video clip because no one's going to really closely look or notice that this woman is, one woman in the background is forgetting how to clap. This other woman is doing this one hand clapping thing. The guy in the back has 3 because we're really looking into it. Or even grandma having some type of episode that, makes you think she's going to break out an axe and start going to town on folks. Because advertisers aren't counting on that. People that would take advantage of this, they're counting on you watching just long enough so that they can get their product across. And me being a former professional actor, me being a voiceover person, me being a content creator, this bothers me a lot. The video has a certain quality to it that makes it look odd in a way. Can't quite tell what it is though. I can tell you one thing it's doing. It's in a shot like this, in a shot like this, Mig, most of the time it's a pan across. It's just a simple pan across. But here, the camera appears to be going in a circle. It's going like this instead of like this. So that's one problem. And secondly, grandma looks hunched over. She looks like she's about to hyperventilate. And so that's another thing too, secondhand. This could really trigger some people because if you've lost somebody to Alzheimer's, my uncle had dementia, and he had a rather distant look in his eyes when he would do something like that. And you have all the people in the background, just their hands are all over the place. And it's the only thing that we've got going for us right now is that AI hasn't figured out how to do hands properly, amongst some other things. But I don't have a problem with this technology. I really don't have a problem with this technology. I do have a problem with how it's being regulated and how it's being developed so quickly that people can't seem to adjust to it. And much like with when artists say, stop using AI art. I'm like, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. If I wanted to do something really serious with OSI, absolutely, I would go on ahead and I would hire an artist to create our emotes. I would hire an artist to create stuff like you've seen my my OSI hockey jersey. That logo was created by Candy Cane Studios, Denise Lamon, and she did an incredible job on it. Could I have done that and could I have saved myself some money and had done that with AI? Probably. Wouldn't have looked as good. Would not have looked as good. Now, we do use AI to create our thumbnails, but those are thumbnails. Those are cheap throwaway thumbnails that we would use. They're there for one reason, to capture your attention and get you to watch. That's it. But would I ever print any of that stuff out? Nope. I would never print any of the stuff that we create in Photoshop's AI, because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. And I'm okay with the AI technology. I am not okay with it being developed so fast that we have a whole new, before we even solve the first problem of the ethics of standard art and AI, that's one thing. We're not talking about chat to video, text to video. But then, and people are saying, well, but look at, yeah, but this is the prototype. In 3 to 5 years, are we going to be able to see through it this quickly? I don't know. And that's kind of frightening. That's kind of frightening. And they should be. They really should be. And it's something that I want to find out more about. It's something that I really want to look deeper into. The ethics of AI. And where are those lines, and where's it going to cross? I either draw my Fox character or write a very lengthy prompt, and some tell me I'm hurting artists doing that. I even used it for references. We see, well, that's the thing. When it comes to your own art, I think that's one thing. When it comes to your own art, that's one thing. But it's when you say, you know what, I'm going to say, well, let's go back to Willie's chocolate experience. That whoever was behind that, they were trying to do this for as cheaply as they could. And they were using it to promote a major event. And that right there should have been the first red flag. It's one thing when you have like a little bit of AI art. It's one thing when you use AI art for like a banner or something like that. But when you are advertising what you're bringing to the general public with AI art, well, okay, now you're just now it gets you've crossed a line. You're actually using AI to promote and put forward your event, your money-making event, which you cannot deliver what is being depicted on your website. And yeah, it's a mess. And it's getting messier. And it's getting messier at an exponential rate. The way I feel about AI, I've put it this way. I feel the same way about AI right now that I felt about social media about 15 years ago. 15 years ago, when I was involved with social media, I was starting to see things really turn. I remember I was at an event where I gave a talk on staying safe in social media, right? I was talking about how to protect your identity, how to protect yourself, how to still be able to share on social media, but doing it in a responsible manner. I had 5 people in that talk. Across the way, it was all about monetizing social media, monetizing your Facebook, monetizing Twitter. And it wasn't necessarily like money going to Twitter, money going to Facebook. It was about how do I make money and take advantage of this free platform that I'm being given. And this is something that again, I think right now a lot of the platforms are reaping from what happened, when these platforms first launched. Everybody seemed shocked that Twitch wasn't making money, right? And people are like, why isn't it making money? Well, I mean, one, you've got a lot of people on here. Two, you've got a lot of salaries to take care of because these servers have to keep running in order for me to stream this content. And then you had these outrageous contracts that people were locking content creators into. And really, when it comes down to it, when these platforms are first launched, whether it's Twitch, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, monetization was never, they were never built to scale. They were built to be something cool, something unique. And where social media was about 15 years ago, that's the way I feel about AI now. I feel like right now everybody's looking for that next big thing. The people, the social media influencers. Well, they weren't called influencers back then. The social media gurus who segued into crypto bros. Now they're all about AI. They're open AI bros, and it sucks. It sucks. And I really do feel like they need a grown-up in the room. All right. And it is a little it's a little unsettling to see to see Grandma Bateman trying to blow out the candles while someone behind her is giving a one-hand clap with her thumb. Yeah. Okay. Now we get to some paranormal stuff that we've got set up for today. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Let's take a look at this. Sent to me by my wife. Let's take a look. Caught this on our camera Valentine's Day. Here we go. That baby better float out of the she better float out of there, that's all I can say. Oh, dear God. Hey, Sly Gamer. Good. I'm glad you made it home. Let's watch that again.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hello there. I just want to, just one more thing I wanted to see before. Okay, so. All right, so I'm going to give props. I'm going to give props to whomever this person is. One, it was kind of cool how the rose is picked up from the top. And then at one point, it actually straightens out and then the stem inverts like that. Okay? That's some pretty decent puppetry right there. The bigger, I mean, the main thing that I'm thinking about with this video is the lady right here, the mom, who is, I guess she's the one filming it. I'm assuming she's the one filming it, but the mom here, where are you, Mom? There you are. Mom's right here. And you mean to tell me, that Mom is so entranced by her kid trying to eat the crib that she doesn't notice the rose dancing in the back, right? Because if you look closely, the lights move. Ooh. Oh, let me look at this one. Let me look at that again. Okay. So you're saying the lights move. I'll back it up a little more. All right. No, don't make me like it. Okay. That's a really good green suit because I have not seen any kind of distortion whatsoever just yet. Yeah, I guess I would have been more impressed. I would have been more impressed if either A, the mom had reacted, or B, the mom hadn't been there. But that's sort of that's the unknown factor there. And that's wicked good editing skills. Wicked good editing skills. Gotta admit. But yeah. Unless this is just another day that ends in Y with Mom and she has floating floor all around her. I mean, fantastic, way to live life, Belle. But I'm just, not paranormal. I'm just going to come out and say not paranormal. Okay.
I will miss the time.
Okay, most haunted New York hotel. All right, here we go. Most haunted New York hotel. Ghost moves door and then says they did it. Okay, now this is what I think it is. This will be cool because there's a clip that we have with OSI where my wife and I were investigating at this at a barn. It was the Hayslip Hall barn. And we actually heard a knock come from inside this locked barn. And I asked Pip, did you hear that? And then through the spirit box, which we had running, it went, that was me. So hopefully this will be something like that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's fire this up and see what we got.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that? Oh!
That was you. But the door moved.
Anna, turn the flashlight on if you touch the door. Adele. I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that?
That was you. But the door moved.
Anna, turn the flashlight on if you touch the door.
Okay. Let's see that again. Let's see that again. I'm gonna watch the carpet this time.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that?
That was you. But the door moved.
Anna, turn the flashlight on if you touch the door.
So, okay, so the door gets caught in my first criticism, the first thing I noticed about this video. Watch how he walks. This is off of a live? Okay. Well, watch how he walks.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off.
The way he walks into the room is just odd. He walks into the room, and okay, so I can sort of see how he's getting around this. He's basically trying to avoid, obviously, the REM pod. Hey, yeah, he's trying to avoid the REM pod. But he clears the door, and then still takes like a step or two forward, and then veers off. And it's just a little weird how he's walking into the room.
I will miss the times we had together. It was fun. I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear that?
That was you. But
Well, the abrupt stop to the door. I don't think he kicked the door, but the abrupt stop to the door is this carpet right here. So that is that's that I could see. Just see what happens here. There's also another problem I have with this video, and I'm realizing now what it is. Watch what happens when he walks back.
I will miss the times we had together.
Okay. And you said it came from a live pit, but watch what happens when he walks back.
It was fun.
Okay, he walks into the room.
I wish you would have set this off. Did you hear?
There's a jump cut. There's a jump cut right in the middle of this. Why? Why is there a jump cut in the middle of this? And if I take the sound out completely, no, I don't want to like it. There we go. So he walks into the room. Just watch how he walks. And then there's a jump cut. There's a jump cut. And there's a third jump cut. I mean, it's just the first big problem. The first big problem with presenting this as evidence is that it is too easy to have somebody behind that door. It is just too easy to have somebody behind that. The second problem is he's got two jump cuts in what should be a continuous cut. It should just be it should have just been one long cut. Because the one of the easiest debunks you can make, and we actually talked about this when we were looking at that one almost compelling but very, very detail oriented police sweep of the house. was that they went into the door and they made sure the camera was pointed away, but they kept it a continuous shot. So the person can say, well, it was a continuous shot, so there's no jump cuts. But in that jump cut, someone could have been outside of the room, and also he went into the room presumably to get something, but he comes out with nothing. So I'm not really sure what the intent of this, but I'm calling shenanigans on this one because of the jump cut. I'm calling shenanigans on the jump cut. The other reason I'm also saying this is really hard to accept as evidence, and I know I've had this talk with Marv before. Marv finds, and he's not the only one. Plenty of debunkers, and I'm all for this. Plenty of debunkers have dismissed some of the ghost gear that we've used because they say it uses dubious science or it uses dubious technology. Case in point, Simon or Chuck, the Flux 2. Now, for me, the Flux 2 has been a great device in the field. It measures temperature, but it also measures motion, and I always test it. And if it's not working, I'll cut it off. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I have other devices I can use. But what he's using is the flashlight method. And I hate the flashlight method. I absolutely hate it because I know what the science is. The science behind the flashlight method is that you're supposed to use a very specific kind of flashlight. You're supposed to be using the twist maglite ones, and then what you do is you twist it just to the point of where the contacts are like within a feather's distance of each other, right? The idea is that it's so sensitive that a ghost could tap it and make a light come on. Well, the problem is that heat and cold contract and expand not just wood, but all kinds of parts, whether it's your body or whether it is whether it's in a flashlight. And see, I'm lazy. I hear music to be spooky, and I know it's fake. See, the reason I can't say that secondhand is because sometimes we use music. Sometimes we use music in our clips as well. I mean, it's just fun. But in this particular case, again, we're also talking about the one camera angle. And if they think there's something in that room, then they need a second camera in that room. You always need to have, but we know you're legit. Thank you. That is not the case here. The case here is we're trying to have as many multiple angles that we can play with. Lives in a 70-year-old house, plus knows about the hot and cold expand. Right. Well, that's happening with a flashlight as well. That's happening with a flashlight, and I just don't. I really have a tough time with that. I have more. I put more faith in ITC devices than I do in the maglite. Now, if it was one of the kind of lights that had the push ignition, that would impress me. That would really impress me. ITC, thank you, stands for, and I still have it up here, turns out. Yeah. It stands for Instrumental Transcommunication. Instrumental Transcommunication. So yeah. So not buying this. The utter temptation of there being somebody behind that door, just too high. Just too high. Okay. Now I said I wasn't going to cover anything at the Conjuring House, but we're back at the Conjuring House, and I would like to see what this EVP entails. It better not entail those yahoos that we saw in this recent video. But let's take a look, or at least a listen to this insane EVP captured at the Conjuring House. Let's go. Here we go.
We're looking at the barn, and behind us, I'm talking maybe 20 feet behind us, we hear 3 distinct beats on a drum. Boom, boom, boom. Unmistakably a drum.
We have our doubts. We can't say, oh, by the way, the Conjuring House barn No way.
No way.
That was like drums.
I just literally got no. That was 3, and I just got the freakiest. Absolutely not. I don't know if y'all heard that.
Yeah.
But what mics do we have rolling?
Crazy.
Holy crap!
Crazy chills.
I got crazy chills.
Yeah,
I
my
got
spine.
Crazy chills
Straight up my spine. Now,
Now, first off, I'm just gonna say this is the first playthrough. Here's the thing. I'm not going to dismiss this for the crazy chills because I get those too. You're thinking of an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. Now, would it be considered an EVP? Maybe. I think it is some type of audio phenomenon. But I want to hear this again.
3 bangs on what sounded like a Native American drum. This was the site of a Native American slaughter.
Conjuring House staff. The area the house is located was involved in the King Philip's War between colonists and Native Americans. We do not have historical proof that there was a slaughter of Native Americans on the property. Native American drumming is an occurrence that has been known to occur and has been witnessed and reported on the property. Okay.
I've never been so scared.
So let's mosey this way.
I've never been
Drum
so scared.
phenomenon.
That was so clear. That was so clear. Did y'all hear that?
We're looking at the barn, and behind us,
I want to know who this guy is. Let's see. This guy, Haunted City Podcast. Okay. Haunted City. Oh, these guys are apparently out of Savannah. Okay. Well, that has, I will say, chat, that's got my interest peaked because I do love me some Savannah. Now, let me just see. Haunted City Podcast. This is your new favorite podcast about ghosts, new podcast episodes every week. Okay. All right.
I'm talking maybe 20 feet behind us, we hear 3 distinct beats on a drum. Boom, boom, boom.
Love the editor.
Unmistakably a drum.
We have our doubts. We can't say, oh, by the way, the Conjuring.
Now, one thing I would say that I would be very critical about this, the opening audio is very clear, and then this drops about 5 decibels. Dude, you're obviously editing this clip. Boost the damn audio. Boost the audio that matters, man, not your intro. Boost this audio. It's one of the reasons why I'm very critical about any of the stuff we put on TikTok or YouTube Shorts when it comes to EVPs, because I just want to make sure that you hear it clearly. All right, let's jump in.
House barn. No way.
No way.
This one I'm going to put into the could be. Now, one issue that could be a problem is they're outside. They're outside of the barn. They're outside, and when you're outside, as you've heard me say, you're dealing with a lot of sounds. You're dealing with a lot of sound. You're dealing with a lot of external audio sources that could muddy the waters. So that one could be legit. That one could definitely be legit because, yeah. And I could see it. I could definitely see. I could definitely see the grounds of the Conjuring House having some kind of juju about it when it comes to Native Americans. I could see that. From the creators of the nation's scariest immersive horror experience, the Savannah Underground, comes a podcast that takes a deep dive into the very tales and lore to keep our city of Savannah, Georgia, the most haunted city in America. Join paranormal experts Chris Sousey and paranormal investigator Madison Timmons as they discuss Savannah's creepiest legends, crimes, and haunted places. Okay. Meth Hogs, Hopkinsville Goblins and More, Kentucky Cryptids Part 2. Morality of paranormal research and life after death discussions. Spirits of many faces, ghost calling Kentucky cryptids, beasts of Bullitt County, devil monkeys, and more. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, an unnerving EVP from the old Charleston jail. Okay. Might want to give these guys a listen. All right. That was a good one. I always like it when, now see, that one was challenging. That one was a challenge. Because yeah, who's this guy? That was a challenge because there was a bit of there was a validity to it. There was something there. And the only thing that could throw me about it was that it was outdoors. But I've also caught stuff outdoors that I can't explain. And if it was like if it was like something beating up against a tree or because of the wind or something like that, I think it would have shown up during that clip more than just those 3 times. Those are 3 intentional hits. So I'm thinking that was legit. It was legit. Now, speaking of legit, this legit happened on Sunday, and I wanted to make sure we shared this because the clip that you got originally, Cammie, I don't think it did it justice. And what I did was that I went back, reviewed the video, and I made the clip just a wee bit longer. And here is one of the reasons why we live stream our investigations. Take a look at what happened when we asked chat, hey, if you have a question that you want us to ask, we'll ask. And someone had asked earlier, I believe it was Dolly? Dolly or Bonnie? It was Bonnie. Bonnie asked right before this, hey, what do you know? Can the ghost say Twitch? Or can the ghost talk about Twitch? Well, the thing is, a ghost, and that's what I'm explaining, is that if we're talking to people from, if we're talking to what remains, they're not going to know modern technology. They're not going to understand Twitch. They're not going to understand streaming. So that's what I'm explaining. And then you'll hear Pip off camera. You'll also notice too, there's the ball. There's the cat ball the cat ball in question is right here. Here we go. If they're watching it from a distance, they're like, that's pretty freaky.
It's a little weird magic.
Yeah, or even, what kind of technology is this? What kind of TV is this?
Cammie said, if you are here with us, can you show us by making the ball light up?
All right, we can do that. That one we can do. And I will even go one step further, and I'm going to wait and see what Paratech has to say. Oh, look at that.
It just
lit up. And the thing that's really interesting about this, my foot isn't moving. You would have heard Pip move because those floors, that's old wood, so it creaks. And what makes this such a neat clip too. Now, yes, you did said they will know a specific word, but the thing is when you're asking, at least from what Phil told me, when I started doing this with Phil, I was like, okay, explain it to me, Phil. How does all this work? He says, well, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to ask too much of whatever remains, right? You don't want to ask a spirit or a ghost or an entity, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to say, hey, move that candlestick. Hey, do this for me. Hey, do that for me. You're trying to frame it as in, we just want to know if anything or anyone is here. And that was a gem to catch because we turned it over to chat. We said, what would you like us to ask? And that was when Cammie spoke up. If they're watching it from a distance, they're like, that's pretty freaky.
It's a little weird magic.
Exactly. Yeah, or even, what kind of technology is this? What kind of TV is this?
Cammie said, if you are here with us, can you show us by making the ball light up?
All right, we can do that. That one we can do. And I will even go one step further, and I'm going to wait and see what Paratech has to say. Oh, look at that.
It just lit
up.
Can you see that, Cammy? There's a bit
Did
of
you
delay.
catch that, Cammy? If you were, congratulations, Cammy. You just got your first full-on response. And this responded with frequency.
Frequency.
As if we're on the right frequency.
You did do it, Cammy.
You did it, Cammy. You did. I was pretty happy with that. I was pretty happy with that. And how I think I want to close the night is with this compelling clip that Cammy actually pointed out to us. Now, she says that about somewhere between the 10-second and the 15-second, it's a 30-second clip. And you got to reach for the Paratech when it lit up. That's interesting. Yeah, it is, isn't it? But around the 10, somewhere between 10 and 13 seconds, apparently, we get a sound. So I want to have a listen to this and see if we can pick it up in this clip. Now that I have headphones, now that I have better headphones on.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? What was life like when you were growing up in this area? If you grew up in this area.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Ooh. Actually, I think there is something there. There's something. So Pip coughs, catches her breath, and as I'm talking, you just hear it underneath my voice about living in Wilkinson. Let me just now. Granted, this will boost the audio for you all, but it's not going to change on my end. I don't think I can boost the audio anymore. Nope, it's boosted up all the way. Here we go.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Right there. What was life like when you were...
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Yep. I just boosted the sound for myself here. I'm going to play it one more time.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Yeah, that's not a vent. It's not a vent. That's not it's not a vent, and it's definitely not it's not a vent. It's definitely not air conditioning kicking on or coming off, because you'll hear afterwards. It happens around the 13-second mark. Because for the rest of it, you don't hear anything in that room. What was life like when you were growing up in this area? All right. We're that's good. That's good. That's real good. You can't hear it. You'll have to do some editing in for us, probably because of the AC. The AC on your end, Lizard, is that what you're saying? Because let me just hello there. Let me just see. Let me see. It shouldn't take long, because I'm going to go on ahead and just download this and tinker with it, because why not? I can, because I can do that.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, let's focus in on here. So it was around. Okay.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? All right. So it's right in here.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia?
Yeah.
Okay, so where you want to listen to is when I say Middleton, Virginia. Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this up. Hey, how you doing there, Space Veggie? Good to see you. All right, so I'm going to boost this all the way up.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can boost it up any more. I'm trying not to distort the audio. The good news is, and this is a rarity, this is a very clean capture because it is so quiet. So let's have a listen.
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Oh wow, that is. It's in there. It's in there. It's real quiet too. What was life like when you were growing up in this area? If you grew up in this area.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Wow. Wow. So let me see. Middletown, Virginia? Middletown, Virginia? So right after I say Middletown, Virginia, that's when you hear it. It's right in the middle of it. So it's nested, but you catch it trailing off at the end. Middletown, Virginia? Middletown, Virginia? Middletown, Virginia? Do you hear it? Middletown, Virginia? Middletown, Virginia? Middletown, Virginia? It's very soft, Lizard. It's very soft. It's one of those EVPs where I would say it's a D+ because no, you hear shuffling. You do hear shuffling. Middletown, Virginia? That part is the shuffling. Middletown, Virginia? I can tell my wife is upstairs listening to this too. She's listening to it as well. Do you hear it, honey, or did you need to come down? If you're watching upstairs, baby, did you want to come down and have a listen? Give me a second pair of ears. Because I think chat is half and half. No, you hear it? Yeah, okay. Middletown, Virginia? Now here's the thing. Here's the thing, Lizard. Don't sweat it because I have lost count. I have lost count. How many times I can hear something, right? I can hear it in the background, and it is so soft that I cannot isolate it. And boy, is it frustrating. No, it's not close brushing up against the microphone because, nor do I think it's pareidolia, because it's not pareidolia, because if you want to hear what the room sounds like, this is what the room sounds like when nobody's talking. I'm just going to go ahead and play and just play this little bit. I'm just going to isolate it. This is just us sitting in silence, okay? So this is the room silence, okay? This is the ambient noise, the white noise, okay? It's a very quiet room. And around here, Pip coughs and catches her breath. And I mention Middleton, Virginia, and then I say Middletown, Virginia. Oh, no. I know you're not. I know you're not Lizard. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of affirmation. And it's like, it's not necessarily you. There's some EVPs that are so quiet, they're like they're C minus D plus, in that you need to have headphones and you've got to be like pressing them into your ears and cranking them up and maybe even taking a risk of injuring yourself. And then there's some that just pop. This is a low grade EVP. It's still an EVP. But here's the whole clip. And it's around here I say, did you live in Middletown, Virginia? So here we go.
All Eric's out. They had a few other names. Wilkinson's Tavern.
Wilkinson's Tavern,
Larrick's Hotel.
Did you grow up in Middleton?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Middletown, Virginia? Wow. What was life like when you were... Because had it been... Because I was ready... Because when I heard it on the phone, I thought for a second it was the air conditioning or the heater kicking in. And had it been the air conditioning or heater, we would have heard something going... And then we'd have had the drone of the heater or the AC. It wasn't. That is something. Yeah, I'm going to save that as 2024 Wayside Cami EVP. Okay. That's pretty neat. Maybe, yes, you would also hear a clicking noise of something electric turned on. And that would have been the precursor to a possible whisper or the rush in an air vent. And we were able to do that. We were able to discern the difference between some kind of air vent, some kind of AC kicking in versus us. And that was something else that was an unexpected joy, if you will. An unexpected joy of the Wayside Inn from the weekend was the fact that it was so freaking quiet. Oh, that's going to be probably loud. Let me take that down. There we go. And this time I'm not gonna turn off the stream. I'm not gonna turn off the stream as I go to intermission or just haunting. Wow. Okay, that's a nice way. Now, this channel, or rather, I should say, the Grim Gazette. The Grim Gazette is not out to debunk other people's work and then turn around and validify its own work. I want to make sure you all are well aware of that. I wanted to end the note on looking at this clip, and I was actually ready. I was expecting to debunk your clip, Cammie. I was ready to debunk it because when I heard it on the phone, I'm like, I think that's a vent. I'm pretty sure that's a vent. But I was listening to it on my phone. And yes, I had my phone right up to my ear. I was ready to dismiss it. And then I heard it just now and I was like, no, that could be legit. And then we obviously we pulled out Adobe Audition, and now, yeah, you're going to have a clip featured in the upcoming Wayside Inn episode that we're going to do in season 3. So how about that? Let's go. I will say I was hearing some like sounds in that first area you were in with the fireplace, and I don't think they were the television. Didn't know how to clip them or think to clip, else I would have heard them maybe 4 times. Yeah, now see, there was a real issue. There's also a YouTube channel to which I feel suspicious in regarding to when they show with paranormal stuff. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with questioning other people's paranormal stuff. It really isn't. In fact, I encourage it. Phil and I are ready to believe you. We're also ready to talk to you about our stuff and whether or not it's, up to snuff or not. Hey, Goth. How are you, Gothy? Good to see you. It's important to us that we make sure that we're doing everything we can to rule out anything else. And where it gets frustrating, at least with that main room we were in, the game room. Yeah, the biggest problem that I had with that room was we were right underneath a room that someone had the television on, and it was loud, and I could hear it coming through the floor. Look at that. Cammy gifting a sub to Gothy. How about that? Thank you, Goth. And thank you, Cammy. That's very sweet. It's a late start for the night. Yeah, Gothy. It's a late start for the night because I'm getting ready to wrap up. But no, this was definitely a terrific episode of the Grim Gazette. Thank you very much. Thank you all. As you all know, if you come across a clip of your own, if you come across a paranormal clip, a UFO clip, a cryptid clip, something that you think could use a critical eye, don't hesitate. Go ahead and go to our Discord, and in our Discord, there is the Grim Gazette room. You can go in there and you can drop the link there. I'd love to entertain clips and weird news stories and all kinds of stuff that you think would be good for an upcoming episode. As far as our clips go, we try to rule out everything as we try to make sure that there is nothing else it could be. One of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of outdoor investigations. I cannot, and that's why the drum one was such a tricky one, because it was caught outdoors, and I have very strong opinions about outdoor investigations. Very, very strong opinions. It drives Phil nuts. It drives him absolutely bananas. But that's the thing. I'm just like, yeah, but there's so much outside noise. And then I found out that I was in the same camp as Jack Osborne, so I'm okay with this. Yep, I know he's live binding. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. I might throw a link into an example of what I mentioned. Oh, please do. Please do. I appreciate that, Veggie. I really do. But going back to what I was saying, the point of the Gazette is not to basically showcase how awesome our work is compared to other people. I want to try to rule things out, and sometimes it's very easy. Like going back to the rose clip, it's like, okay, if a rose is floating in the air, I gotta believe. I've got to believe that Mom is going to react somewhere. Bonnie, if he raids, fantastic. If he doesn't, I'll understand. But I'm actually calling it a night soon. So, and the thing is, I've got nothing else for tonight. But I appreciate you keeping us in your thoughts, and I appreciate you being our champion. There'll be other times. Bonnie. Don't worry. There will be other times. And again, I'm not reliant on Doug raiding us. I wouldn't say no. I love it when he raids, or I loved it when he raided. If he wants to, if Doug wants to make it a regular thing, great. It just means we're one step closer. If Doug makes me a regular post-stream raid, that brings us one step closer to me taking Doug onto the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum hunt. That it's just one step closer, but we have to get there, and I'd like to work up to that. Maybe have him attend to Titan Taco Tuesday or something along those lines. But just remember, everybody, if you want to contribute to the Grim Gazette, you got a weird news story, you've got something paranormal you want me to look at, something UFO or UAP related, or something cryptid related, like secondhand sending in that Skinwalker clip, by all means, you know where to go. You can either drop a comment here at YouTube, because this is now replaying on YouTube, but for those of you all live with me right now, you can go to Discord and you can go to the Grim Gazette room. And in the Grim Gazette room, you can go on ahead and drop a clip, be it a tickety talk, be it a YouTube clip, something that we can share with the class. Okay. All right, everyone. It's been a great night. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all next week.